She is my world and I need to stay alive for her. And if it wasn't for her, I would have never known. It got to, I think, the late stages of probably like 37 weeks, so like probably about 3 weeks before she was born. And I just felt like something wasn't right. They'd take my blood pressure, monitor the baby, I'd be sent back, I'd be fine. It was like literally 2 weeks before she was actually born. We have like a shop that's literally like 10 minutes away, not even that. And I couldn't even make it halfway without having to stop. And it's only since I've had her that I look back and I think, like, that was probably the start of my PH showing itself, because I just thought it was pregnancy. Only 1% of babies come on their due date, so she was that 1%. And at 4 o'clock she was born. So it was 24 hours after. And they came to me and said, oh, you ready for discharge? Check me over and whatever. And she took my blood pressure and she said, I don't like them numbers. I'd never forgive myself if I sent you home. I need to monitor you for the next 4 hours. So at first I didn't think anything of it. I thought, I've never laboured. It's my first child. So I sent my partner home. She said, they've gone over. And she said, let me just check your oxygen. So she put the oxygen thing on my finger. And it was in the 60s, 70s mark. And she said, for a young lady, that shouldn't be reading that. So we're going to send you for a scan. I'm like, what's going to happen with my baby? And they said, call your partner, because he needs to take care of her now. And it was at that point I thought, something's not right. So they did a CT scan and I was just, it was a whirlwind at that point. And then 15 doctors come in my room and they all said, you need to go to the high dependency unit. Like, it was at that point that I was just like, am I going to die? When they came to me and said, you've got PAH, which at that point, it was a word. I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of anyone having it. So the minute they diagnosed me, I was put on the IV. I've never experienced any pain or any confusion like I did with the ordeal. I don't want to get upset. You go in and you think the doctor's going to fix you, to find out that there was no cure and it was an incurable condition, destroyed me. Because I was like, I'm going to die. Like, that's all I had in my head. I'm going to die and I've got a newborn baby at home that needs me. She was 4 days old when I went to Sheffield. Yeah. A little dot, a little doll. So within 4 days of having my daughter, I went from being diagnosed with an incurable condition, as well as starting an IV medication. So for 5 weeks I was away from her. And I got discharged in October. And the first night was probably the worst. I was sat there with a newborn and an IV of a Hickman and thinking, how the hell am I actually going to cope? How am I going to be strong enough to be her mum, as well as administrate my own medication, do my own dressings? But all I will say is it's an adaptation. I've adapted. It was a new life, going home with a newborn anyway. But a newborn and an IV was two completely 360 turns. I got a routine and she fitted in it. But it's hard. It is hard because now she's getting older, she, pulls and touches, and she doesn't mean to, but she doesn't realise that her mum's got a wire, so she does wrap her hands in it, or wraps her feet in it, or pushes against the buttons and makes it beep. And that's something that no one else can prepare you for. She is my world and I need to stay alive for her. And if it wasn't for her, I would have never known. 100%. 100% she saved me. She saved me in so many ways, and she's oblivious to it. She doesn't have a clue. I think because of how lost I was searching for that person to relate to. As much as I read the books and I read, people's experiences online and support pages, I never found someone that had gone through what I'd gone through. And I think if I can help one person to feel a little bit less lost in the situation I was put in, I think it would give them strength to carry on too. Because I am determined to be the person I was before the condition. I'm not the condition's me. Like, the condition almost killed me and took so much away from me, but it's not going to carry on taking things away from me because I am who I am and I'm always going to be who I am. If I've got a Hickman, I've got a Hickman. It's a whole story, it's a whole journey. And my daughter is a massive, massive part of that. So I've got to be thankful. I can't look at it in any other way.